Well, I finally made it to the store, my local supplier for my trapping supplies and hunting stuff and all that kind of goodies. You got fishing stuff and everything here. I want to make a video on what to pick out when you're buying or getting started trapping. And I've had a few questions again as to what I need to get. Do I need this? How much of this do I need? Things like that. And I thought, well, I'll just make a video. It'd be short and sweet, but to the point and basics, in my opinion. I mean, everybody's different, so everybody likes different stuff and things like that. But as you can see, I'll turn the camera around here and show you what's what. It can be a little overwhelming when you want to get started, when you have so much to choose from. Pretty much it comes down to you know, whatever manufacturer you want, or who you like, or what the other guy tells you to buy. You know, when I started, I asked Rob when I started, what do I need to catch coyotes with? And he was a trapper from back in the day as well, and he just said this, and this, and that's how I got started. So I'm at Rob's store making this video. This is where I get all my stuff anyways. So now there's like the Bridger dogless trap that I have. One of them, well, I have, I think 6 of them. Smaller. This is a big one. This is a number 3. Number 3. These are all number 3s. Some of them are different. Some of them have this groove for the fur, whatever I told you it was, and here's the number 2. I think this is the size I use generally for coyotes. It's a number 2. I have a half a dozen of these. There are, let's see. This is a Duke trap. It's not a dogless. It's similar. Let's see if there's any other. Now this is a different kind. This is a a different kind of way it sets. And that is also, well, I'm not sure what that is. I can't see what it is. It's a 550, it looks like. So it's 550 CL. Minnesota traps, that's what that is. And then down here, they got these, what I call coon cuffs, or grizz getters, or whatever, but like right there, coon cuffs. These are, without a doubt, the best set for catching coons around your barns or corn cribs or cornfields or gardens or whatever. I mean, you just put some cat food in there and wait a day or two, and I guarantee you'll have a coon in it. Any one of these, I'd say, probably just as good as that one. But these are the kind I have. I had more of them, but my buddy Adam had borrowed them, put around his cornfield, and his dad brush hogged them. So I only ended up with maybe 3 or 4 of those after I lost them. I've had a few of these, but the dirt hole has to be kind of big for those, and I just don't use them. There's the single as well. I've actually caught, I caught a weasel in one of these. But then these conibears, I have not messed with them either, because they're good for muskrats and cubbies, sets, martins, whatever, beaver, stuff like that. They have to travel through it in order to get caught. But a lot of my traps are like the Duke 1 3/4, I'm sorry. The slot for the fur protectors, or this is a Duke 1 3/4 here. I think that's fine. I don't know if I have any Duke number two. Probably have Duke number twos is what I have most of. You can see it says Duke number 2 CS on the pan, and mine are so old and used that all the dye covered up all them letters. But yeah, you can just, for smaller animals, you want, you know, you can go 1.5. We'll catch a coyote. They're big though. Those would be good for fox and smaller animals. More likely you want to run with a 1 3/4 or 2. I mean, you can step up to a 3 if you have big coyotes, but I don't see the point in that. It's a bigger hole in the ground, a bigger set, and just there's just so much to pick from. But generally just pick the one. You can go to the store and buy 3 of these if you want to try them, and then 3 of these, or 1 of those and 1 of those and 1 of those. It's just however you want to do it. And that's pretty much it for the traps. But then you get the wall of accessories, and here's those anchors, the earth anchors I'm talking about. These are what I started using, and I will continue to use these simply because I like how they perform. These are the ones that I call a Fang, and I'm not particularly satisfied with them, although you can see the size difference between that one and that one. This one would probably hold up a lot better pulling it out of the ground, simply because it's a lot thicker, and it just, you know, these are pretty thin. So yeah, I still prefer these. And then in order to get them in the ground, you have to have one of these. It's the driving rod to drive them in. Now the Fangs require the smaller one because the tip of the driver generally goes in the tip of the Fang to put it into the ground. Now these are different. I don't see the driver for it, but it's like a slotted deal. And then you got this one made for that. I have both of those. I'm pretty sure this takes a different type of driver, but I don't see it here. And then if, like me, those cables, they get old and rusty and break, or you pull them and the anchor will stay in the ground. You got, most trapping supply stores have all the extras if you need to rebuild or whatever, to rebuild your anchors. Then over here you have your pan covers for all different size pans, and all them traps are all different size, and when they're set out they require different size covers. Me, I generally use this kind and this kind for the sets that I have, the traps that I have. And then this big thing is a catch pole. So if you have to release a critter, you're at least 4 feet away from it. What you do is you pull that handle and it tightens that cable down around the animal, and then you can put tension on that and release the animal from the set that way. Then you got various different sifters and augers for drilling bait holes, and these are for packing around traps. You pack your dirt in, it kind of gives you security of not getting your hands caught, and just all kinds of, these are snares. I've snared before. I've caught coyotes with them, but I just, where I'm at, I don't have the trail system that's optimum for. Then you got your backpacking if you want to carry your stuff on the backpack or whatever. And then you got all your extra little clips and whatnot for making snares. Then in order to attach the anchors to the trap, you have to get these swivels. And these swivels go together like that. And then you crimp that hook on your chain and then on your cable for your anchor. And then you crimp that tight and that locks that into that. And then the other end of the swivel locks into your trap. So you get them, and they're different shapes and sizes in those as well. Or you can use chain link locks or even these twisty ones that you can unscrew, and you can just hook this through the chain and then slide the cable in there as well, and then tighten it back up. That also is a way to anchor it. That's pretty much what I do for all my traps and stuff. That's what I've done. That's all I know to do. Now there's one of those driving rods, that different rod for that different anchor. Same principle, just different end on it. Now, during the cold times, you got this antifreeze, which is, you can read the instructions. It says, mix a tablespoon with dirt when making a dirt hole type set. And what this does is it helps the dirt from freezing and keeping you from catching an animal if it steps on it. I've used it a few times. It's kind of white and it doesn't really blend in very well, but it works. And I'm trying to, like I said before, I'm going to do some waxed dirt this year after Christmas time. But and then you got this stuff, just trap dye. Obviously it's a speed dip. You don't have to boil your traps. You just pretty much clean them and soak them in that. I've not ever used that either. A lot of people use rubber gloves for making their sets. I don't do that. I just use leather gloves or some kind of glove. Just generally only use that glove for that one thing. Let's see. This is the type of dye that I use. Logwood trap dye. Directions are right on the package. And then if I'm waxing, this is the type of wax I'll use. I'll melt it down and then put that in. But see, this is wax dirt. This is pre-made already. And I just might grab a bag of that. It's pretty expensive, but it helps a lot, I guess. I've never used it, so it'll be a learning experience for me. Yeah, let's see. All the other stuff like knee pads. These are like wool that you can put on a stick to put lure on. Scent free. There's all kinds of guides and books and helpful literature that you can get. You can get those bottles there for spraying urine or scents around. This stuff is for when you're done and you're cleaning your animals, stretchers and whatnot. There's a nice heavy duty pack for your traps and stuff. You got hammers and spades to dig out for your sets. These are little shovels. These are also anchors too. rebar anchors, which you can just drive through the chain links and drive them straight into the ground as well. This is for making a bait hole. You use that, pound it in the ground, and the dirt comes up through here, and you can remove it, and then put your bait in the bottom. These are the tools you use to set the Conibear traps. Here's a screening pan that I use. I mean, stuff's generally inexpensive. I mean, the traps, depending on what you buy, you know, $12 a trap, $17.50, $10, $11, you know, $11.50. It just varies. Sometimes in your local store, you might have somebody bring some in and they'll take them on consignment and sell for them. Sometimes there's used traps here too, but yeah, this is one more look at the different kinds of traps. I'll move over to the bait section now, and we'll look at some of the baits and lures that I use also. All right, let's see what we got here. These are different types of bait. Sweet paste bait. That's kind of like that mouse stuff, I'm assuming, because it's that mouse stuff that I use. It's kind of a sweet smelling stuff. Rage Predator bait. I've seen this on TV. That Soul Taker, I've seen that on TV. I might get some of that, try that. I've used this. Bobcat chunk bait, I've used that. I don't know if I've ever used the Widowmaker though. Let's see, 3 meat. That's for fox, coyotes, and cats. Oh, that's made in Ohio, Glenmont, Ohio. Widowmaker paste bait, good on all predators all year. And then you got lures. Jiminy Christmas, they got lures, everything, all kinds of stuff. Just telling you, it's just crazy, all kinds of lures. I mean, there's so many. There's some different kinds of bait, smaller cans. I've used this a lot, the Hallbackers brand, Fox and Coyote bait. It's kind of like a really greasy stuff. I've also used that, Sweet Meat Predator. Now I use the Bobcat urine. Never used fish oil, but I've used Coyote. That stinks. That stuff is strong. And what I've been told is that if you use that, you'll scare away bobcats and foxes. I mean, if you're dedicated to hunting coyotes or trapping coyotes, then you can use that. But I find that Ready Red works just as good as anything else for all of it. So I use that. Matter of fact, I gotta get a bottle of that as well. Let's see, we'll pick something off of here and try. I think I've had that Hiawatha Valley Predator bait. This one. I've used this one too. Minnesota Valley. There's the Bushwhacker. I've used that one. We'll grab that one too and try it. I got enough glands, although I don't know what any of them are. I've got enough of them, but if I was to suggest any, it would be like a red fox gland, a bobcat gland, a canine call. See, these are more for distant call lures. They're better on the wind type deal. Some of the other stuff I've not really used too much. so I don't really know. I've used a couple of this, like I've used that Hellfire. It smells like skunk. I don't have any purpose for mink, fisher, or weasel lure, although I do have minks on my property. I've not seen any fishers, and I have caught a weasel in a regular set, but yeah, I've got plenty of that stuff. But that was just an idea, an overlook of what there is, how much there is, and what you can get yourself into. There's more lures right here too. These Hallbackers, I've used them quite a bit. Coyote Special. And then there's Red Fox. And then there's a Red Fox Glen 100, 200, and 400. Wildcat, Big 3, Otter, Muskrat, and Beaver lure in there if you're trapping something like that. But other than that, that's pretty much it.